About to do that chat.
Let's do that chat.
Let's do that chat when it comes to the Cincinnati Reds. The chatter is, well, should they be buyers? Should they be sellers? What are they going to do? Are they going to stand pat? That was a poll question earlier this week. Well, Jeff Passan got the memo, and he did some digging. And at 31-30, Jeff Passan predicts that the Reds will be sellers at the trade deadline. And here's what he wrote. Objective, stop living at 500 and play like a playoff team. If they were to unload someone, it would be Brock Burke, who pitched well earlier this week. And if they were to get someone, it could be Taylor Ward, the outfielder, to give them some outfield help, which I think everybody would agree with. You buying this? You buying that the Reds could be sellers, will be sellers at the deadline?
I certainly think it's an option, and they're headed that direction. But this has to be the fourth, maybe fifth year in a row that the Reds' ideal trade deadline target's listed as Taylor Ward. So nice to see that keep coming around. First it was when he was with the Angels, now on an expiring deal with the Orioles. He's a free agent this offseason, so expect more conversation when he hits the market this offseason. But the first thing I thought of with this was, if the Reds are going to unload someone at the deadline and it's a relief pitcher, what does the second half of this season look like for Reds fans in the bullpen? What a miserable version of a baseball team to watch if you're going to trade the few arms in the bullpen right now that there's even some level of confidence in when they come out of those bullpen doors. I mean, this bullpen has been falling off the face of the earth for the last month or so, and you don't have enough arms to even pitch close games back-to-back days. You have three guys that go one inning of shutout baseball the day before, and then you're stuck with Tony Santillan with an 18 ninth inning ERA to close a game or try to win a game in the next day. So the Reds need to hold on to every bullpen arm they can get and then look to add, even if they aren't necessarily in contention. It changes the level of arm you can add, but I think building something for the future with the young players on this team, you got to stay at least relatively competitive. And if every single time you go to the bullpen in a close game, they're going to blow it, that's not teaching these guys anything about winning baseball. So I do not think, even if the Reds do fail through these summer months leading up to the trade deadline, that they should trade away a lot of pieces in this bullpen, or any pieces really in this bullpen. I just don't think that's a good way to do it.
I think it's interesting, and here's why. Buster Olney reported that bullpen arms are hard to come by.
Yeah.
Can you get someone to, hey, we really need a guy, we're going to overpay. Can you do that? That's the only option, right?
Yeah.
If someone gets desperate enough and you have someone that, a bullpen, a reliever, a bullpen arm, a reliever that is going to help another team, or that another team really, really wants, and you're looking at it. What if Santillan? What? Come on, man. Brian Giesenthal sat in your chair yesterday and said, hey, he was really good. First 13 outings.
He was.
If it's hard to find these guys, that's what teams are going to be discussing, because it's better to have another option than to not have another option.
No, you're right.
So, like, from that perspective, I'm open to it. But to your point, they stink already in the bullpen. Can you really stink more if you're going to try to compete at all? Yeah. And if you do give up one of these guys, is it really punting? Is it not Ryan Rico punting? Like, bad punt. I wasn't going to name it. I don't want to. Why am I? Just punting when you on a season that you were supposed to win 85 games. I think really optimistic fans said 90. I think pessimistic said 81. But above 500, for sure. 500 or better. Even those that were down on the Reds expected that. So that's what I think is tough. It's that balance. It's that juggle. And there's still time. But I'm always of the belief, always, how can I add? How can I fix this? How can I make this work? How can I, what can I do to make it? And there are some years where it's like it can't work. And maybe this is that year. We still have time to figure that out. And I think the Reds are analyzing it. But I think you should always be of the aggressive mindset when you feel like you have a chance to win. The Reds felt that way 3 months ago.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, they've dealt with some injuries. But if they can tread water, like Nick Kroll said earlier this week, should they be buyers? They should still be thinking that mindset. I would not say, or be saying, oh, well, we're definitely going to be sellers, or be thinking the opposite way. Hey, let's sell off some of our time. I would not be thinking that on June 5th.
Where the frustration, I think, comes in for a lot of Reds fans is that small market teams, you can't just add all the time. You can't just add in free agency and the trade deadline and all that. I get that with the constraints of the budget. But when you have an Elly De La Cruz, when you have a Hunter Green, when you have a Chase Burns, all on rookie contracts, that's when these teams add. That's when these teams go supplement their young guys and put some talent around them and give them a chance to win. When you have these superstar players on rookie contracts, you're getting a bargain in Elly De La Cruz. They extended Hunter Green, still one of the best contracts in baseball. Chase Burns just started his rookie contract, and he's in the Cy Young favorites right now. So you have to supplement these players when you have exciting young guys, and that's the thing with the Reds right now is they continue to try to rebuild. But when they get that core here, when those players arrive that they've been saying the whole time they're going to put pieces around, those pieces never really come. A one-year contract for Eugenio Suarez is not addressing the lineup. You got lucky with J.J. Bleday and Nathaniel Lowe turning into the players they've been so far this year to make the lineup look at least a little bit competent. But the Reds have not done what they needed to do once they get through the rebuild. You trade a Luis Castillo for a Noelvi Marte and an Edwin Arroyo because by the time those two guys come up, you say, okay, we're going to give money to this roster and supplement it with some great players. But the Reds never turn that page and take that next step. And I think that's where a lot of the frustration comes in because if they do sell at this trade deadline, what are they selling for? If those prospects come up in 3 or 4 years, are they just not going to spend money again? Is it going to be hoping that those young guys can become MVPs and Cy Youngs themselves and drive the team to the playoffs with really no help around them? I don't know, but it doesn't seem like a winning proposition, and it seems like they're going down the same path that they've went down 2 or 3 times already in my lifetime.
Yeah, that's it, is the juggle, the balance, and the willingness to go, to push, to go for it. And I know for years, just to tie it to the Bengals, obviously I've covered the Bengals much closer over the past few years, they've thought we want to keep this window open. We want to be sustainable. Well, none of that matters if you're not winning. And it's really, really hard to win. And that sustainable mindset, I think, came back to bite them in the butt. Whether it's how they drafted, the prospects they drafted, their approach to free agency, all of those things. Now, this offseason, they've made up for it in a lot of ways, at least on paper. That's why I would always be of the aggressive mindset. I would always have the gas pedal down. I would always have that. It would not shock anyone that's familiar with my mindset in general. It definitely doesn't shock you that I would say, that's it. Because what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
There's one reason. We're not doing this show to be 7th. No, we're doing it to be number 1. And if you're the Reds, you're doing it to be 1. And if you're the Bengals, you're doing it to be 1. And so, yeah, is it hard to compete with the Dodgers? For sure. Don't need more cats. You need more dogs. So you always got to be on the hunt for more dogs.
Absolutely. If you're a team like the Reds, so cash-strapped a lot of the time, instead of spreading it out and spending a few $1 million
3-2-1 needs to be 4-3-2 then.
It does. No, bump it up. I'm all for it. But yeah, I'll pay a couple extra dollars for a beer for a first baseman or something.
Reds NIL. He's ready.
I'm in. I've never been more in. But yeah, I think the thing with the Reds is I would almost say pool your money. It's wait until you have these star players, then unload it and go get the players. That's why I was so upset about the Schwarber deal and the details that came down this offseason. Because when is a better time than this year to add a player like Kyle Schwarber to this Reds team? And you were on the doorstep of getting a deal done and weren't comfortable taking that next step. And I just can't wrap my head around the scared nature of the front office to take a big swing.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, they did take a big swing. Brian Hayes. No,
swing and a miss.
Schwarber.
Just like a Brian Hayes.
There you go. Schwarber should be a Red.
Yeah. He wanted to be a Red. The Phillies thought he was going to be a Red.
Yep. 150
The Reds
million.
thought he was going to be a Red.
Do it. Just give him the 150. I think. And the problem is they would have done that and then they would have sold other pieces.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have been the mindset at all. It should have been do that and get Suarez and keep the pieces and have more margin for error when you lose Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo and you have the injuries that you've had